In today's video, we're going to be jumping into my XDefiant best loadouts you guys really seem to like when I gave you guys that gameplay, so let's hop into my best setups. The first gun we'll be taking a look at here today is going to be the MP7. This is undoubtedly probably the best SMG in the beta, the closed beta right now that you guys can use, so we got to be able to show you guys how to properly utilize this. So what's really nice in this game is that you can basically just choose an attachment. There's no attachment tuning, unlike Modern Warfare 2, which is, in my opinion, really nice that you can just choose something. Makes it pretty simple to be able to create your builds. But we're going to be skipping over the muzzle. We're going to go actually straight to the barrel section here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go throw on the chrome lined barrel. And this is going to give us an increase to our short range and medium range here. This is actually pretty beneficial. So show you guys here real quick. I'll throw that on there and I'll get my detailed statistics out. You can see in the bottom corner there, this extends out your close range significantly farther, from 17 and 22 meters away to 20 and 26. So you get the better damage profile out at those longer ranges, which is ultimately what we want for this gun, considering these things are really not useful at longer than medium to close range. So we definitely want to be able to do that. That's that. We're going to go here to the front rail, and we're going to go probably throw on the hand stops. So this is going to help us out that aiming stability and vertical recoil control. We definitely really need to be able to do that, as this thing will like to bounce around, so we want to be able to stabilize it out. We're going to skip over the optic section because we don't really need an optic on this. The iron sights are perfectly fine in my opinion. The magazine, this is kind of where it comes up a little bit for like in terms of being up to debate, but you can either go with the quick mag or, in my opinion, the fast mag, which is the better option. You do get that ADS hit flinch, you know, which I really don't see all that much, so you guys can definitely go with the quick mag. But between the quick and the fast mag, those are going to be my recommendations. I believe that with an extended mag on pretty much any gun in this game, you reload a little bit too slow, and I think the 40 rounds that this thing has, I believe is what it has, is perfectly fine. So we're going to throw that on there. After that, we're going to go in here to the rear grip section, and what we're going to do is we're going to go kind of look around here to give us a little bit more mobility without kind of like messing the weapon up too much. And so we're going to either go for the lightweight grip or the quick draw grip. This gives you a massive boost to your sprint to shoot time. It's really more or less sprint to fire is what we'd be calling it in Call of Duty, but it gives you the increase to your ADS time, which is the good thing here. You know that obviously it says minus 15%, that would be like it's slowing you down, but so you lose a tad bit of aiming stability, which is not necessarily the greatest, but that's entirely okay. We're going to throw on the quick draw. And then for our last attachment, we're going to go to the stock section, and we're going to be looking around here to kind of mobilize this gun even further, and that's going to be, in my opinion, the collapsed stock is the best thing to do. And there's actually no cons to this, so there's no detriment really. It says, I mean, mobility and accuracy as opposed to maybe some of these other things here, but I don't really know. That it says there's no cons, and I've ran around with this specific build here plenty of times. When we throw this on here, and like those are all my attachments there, you look at the detailed statistics, I mean, our sprint out time is, you know, slower. It's 165 instead of 184. I mean, we are doing a lot of really good here, and you know the reload time significantly faster. Rate of fire is great, so this is overall a really solid build. I'm happy you have those detailed statistics. But now let's move on to our next gun. Our next gun we'll be taking a look at is going to be the ACR 6.8. This is probably the most dominant assault rifle in this game right now, sort of like the M4, and the AK-47s are really close behind, if it's not like tied with the M4 as a second gun in the game. But I do believe the ACR 6.8 is the best assault rifle, so let's get into it here and show you guys how to build this thing properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to definitely increase the fire rate, because that's a huge thing in this game. So first thing in the muzzle, what we're going to do is we're going to throw in the muzzle booster. So this is going to increase our fire rate by 2.5%. And that is actually a pretty big thing here for this gun, as the fire rate's not like crazy fast in the first place. I mean, 650 rounds per minute, so we got to be able to increase this a little bit more, so we're more effective at not just that medium to longerish range, but a lot more at close range. So we're going to throw on the muzzle booster. In the barrel section, what we're also going to go ahead and do is, this is not like a super, you know, long range gun, and I don't really think people are having a lot of super long range gunfights, but we're going to actually also throw on the rapid fire barrel. So this is a really nice barrel to be able to run, increasing your fire rate another 5%. And don't really worry about that horizontal and vertical recoil, as we're going to definitely stabilize this gun out. But this is a huge thing here, and I'd recommend for you guys to try this. Now moving into the front rail section, since we've kind of made this gun a little bit less stable, we have to stabilize it out as much as we can. So we have a few different options in here. You guys can kind of pick between what you feel is going to be right when you test it out in game. You can either go for something like the vertical grip here, which is going to really help us out with that vertical recoil control, as we kind of lost a little bit of that. Or something else you can do is a leather wrap, which will help your aim walking speed and aiming stability, kind of giving you almost that stalker feel from Modern Warfare 3. For those of you guys know what I'm talking about, when you can straight back and forth a lot, you know, through ADS, that is actually pretty beneficial. So between the vertical and the leather wrap, you really can't go too wrong. So I'd recommend for you guys to try that. But the vertical grip here is definitely probably the safer option of the two. After that, we're in the optics section. This is pretty simple. We don't really mess the 3 times, the 4 times. We just kind of go for the reflex. I mean, the reflex or even the hollow if you really want to get kind of crazy with it. I mean, it's not going to make that big of a difference. It's just kind of like, I guess, a little bit of that, you know, aesthetic. What do you want to see? A hollow? Do you want to see a reflex? I think the reflex is easier to be able to use, so I just recommend for you guys to run the reflex. After that, we're gonna go down here to the magazine section, and this is another one of those things where you guys probably need to either run the quick mag or the fast mag. So the extended mag is okay. It's gonna go boost you from 30 to 45 rounds, which is pretty solid. But otherwise, I just do believe that in this game, because that, you know, the pace of it and how fast it is, and something like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, you can get away with running an extended mag without even having, like, you know, fast hands or something like that. But in this game, because everything is like so, you know, split second, having that fast mag or the quick mag is going to be to your benefit. I just run the fast mag here, as this still does everything I need to. It increases my reload speed by 50%, which is pretty crazy. So that is my full build right there. Let's take a look at the statistics here. Our ADS reduction time is just a little bit, ever so slightly, you know, slower. Our sprint out time is the same. Aiming stability is pretty much exactly the same. We increased our rate of fire from, that was at 650 or 625 up to 699. And we increased our reload time. In our magazine ammo capacity, our accuracy is now increased a little bit too. So we're definitely going to be doing pretty good here. This is a solid build, and it's great for a variety of situations. Now for our next gun, we're going to be going for another assault rifle, which is going to be the M4A1. So this is pretty much the gun everybody used off RIP, just because, I mean, a lot of the classes you couldn't really unlock stuff, and this was pretty much the best, you know, gun in the game when we first got on. So a lot of people really still enjoy using this, even over the ACR 6.8. But let's give you guys a setup here for it. First thing is going to be that muzzle. So we're going to go straight in here, and we're going to be kind of looking around here just to kind of increase that fire rate a little bit. So we're going to go for that muzzle booster, as I do believe this is actually pretty beneficial. These silencers really don't keep you off the radar all that much. So for instance, I mean, actually, well, it really doesn't matter that much in the first place. The silencer is like the lightweight. We only have 50% weapon stealth, that you pretty much are on the mini map for like 0.5 seconds to 1 second. So, and a lot of people don't even really use that mini map anyways, because they're so used to not looking for red dots. So you're really not on the mini map all that much. And then, so we're just going to go for the muzzle booster to kind of find something that's more beneficial. Next up at the barrel, we're going to stabilize this gun out just because it has some recoil. So we're going to go for the stabilizing barrel here to go for that horizontal and vertical recoil control. This is definitely something that we need here on this gun. The M4 definitely likes to bounce around a little bit more, so even a lot more so than the ACR 6.8. After that, in the front rail section, what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. We're going to throw on the leather wrapped grip here for aim walking speed and aiming stability. This gun is pretty stabilized out here with that barrel, so we don't have to do too much. What we want to be able to do is just kind of strafe around here quite a bit, so this is going to help us out. The more times you're a little bit like ADS when someone's kind of trying to jump around a corner, if you can get that, you know, first shot or two off on them, the TTK is pretty fast in this game, so that's pretty useful. After that, in the optics section, the iron sights are okay. I feel like they're just kind of mid, so we're gonna go for the reflex. Reflex here, pretty standard thing to run on an assault rifle. I just recommend for you guys to run it. You can do that or the hollow. It is entirely up to you. And then for our last attachment, we're gonna go down here to the magazine section, and we're gonna once again throw on either the quick mag or the fast mag. My preference recently has been the fast mag, as I believe it to be just entirely okay. But I mean, you really get a plus 15% reload speed versus a plus 50%. I would rather go for that plus 50 and deal with any of that ADS hit flinch. I think that's fine by me. So this is my full build here. Now let's take a look at some of these stats. We increased, you know, that rate of fire, making this thing more deadly. The damage profile is really solid. Magazine ammo capacity has been increased. Reload time has been significantly decreased. Sprint out time has been increased. But overall, this is just a really mobile but also effective gun, so we're going to be enjoying this. And for our last gun here today, we're going to be giving you guys a build for the MP5. So this MP5 is actually kind of a little bit underrated, but it definitely still competes up there with the MP7, though the MP7 may be just ever so slightly better. You guys can still make this thing incredibly effective. So let's give you guys all the attachments for it. First thing, muzzle. We're gonna go for the muzzle booster here. This is an SMG, so the more effective we can be at that super close range, like the better. So we're gonna be running the muzzle booster on this. The barrel on this is going to be the rapid fire barrel to once again increase that fire rate. I don't believe you need the chrome lined barrel. You guys could try out the chrome lined if you really want to increase your short range capabilities, but the rapid fire barrel, from what I tried, was actually really good, really beneficial, so I'm going to go with that. We're gonna move it down here to the front rail section, and we're gonna go actually throw on the hand stop. So this is gonna help us out with that vertical recoil, aiming stability. This gun's gonna kick up a decent bit just because of the way it is, so I'd recommend for you guys to do that. Or you can even try the vertical grip if you really feel like you need a little bit more stabilization, but otherwise the hand stop is gonna work out fine. We're gonna skip the optics section and go straight back to the magazine, and we're just gonna definitely throw on the fast mag. This thing reloads ridiculously fast here with that fast mag, and Lord knows that if you're playing with this gun and you don't have a fast mag on it, it is a really slow reload time, so we definitely don't want that. We're gonna throw on that fast mag. And for our last attachment, we're gonna move back here to the stock section, and we're gonna go throw on the lightweight stock. So this is gonna give you that aim walking speed and movement speed. And I'd really say this is pretty clutch because you can kind of jump and strafe around and move around, but also when you want to come around a corner, you can ADS and you can still move back and forth pretty fast. So you're gonna be really effective here with this build. So we're gonna throw that on there. Take a look at these stats. You guys can see rate of fire has been drastically increased. I mean, our movement's been increased, ADS time, all this great stuff here. We've definitely made this gun a lot better than what it was. So I'd say this is a really solid build. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and check out one of these other videos here on screen if you enjoyed this one.